Canada is a land of great history, with a rich and diverse mix of stories and experiences that help to define the country and its people. While many people might be familiar with famous events like the construction of the Canadian Pacific Railway or the patriation of the Constitution, there are many lesser-known aspects of Canadian history that are just as fascinating and important. Here are the top 5 things about Canadian history that most people don't know. Number 1. The first known African American to settle in Canada was a man named Matthew de Coast, who arrived in Nova Scotia in the 1600s. While many people are aware of the role Canada played in the Underground Railroad, helping escaped slaves to find freedom in the North during the 1800s, few realize that there was a much longer history of Black Canadians dating back centuries earlier. Number 2. The Halifax explosion of 1917 was one of the largest man-made explosions in history, killing almost 2,000 people and injuring thousands more. The blast was caused by a collision between 2 ships in the harbor, one of which was carrying explosives on its way to Europe for the war effort. Most people are familiar with natural disasters like tornadoes and earthquakes, so it's surprising to learn about a catastrophic event like this that was entirely preventable. Number 3. Canada has a rich tradition of civil disobedience and resistance, with many examples of grassroots movements and protests that have shaped the country's social and political landscape. One lesser-known example is the story of the OK Crisis, which took place in 1990 when First Nations people in Quebec staged a peaceful protest against a development on their ancestral lands. The protest was met with violence from the police and military, highlighting the ongoing struggle for Indigenous rights to this day. Number 4. Canada is home to one of the oldest Chinatowns in North America, located in Victoria, British Columbia. What many people don't realize is that this community was founded by Chinese immigrants who came to Canada to work on the railway and were subjected to discriminatory laws and practices, including a head tax designed to limit their numbers. Despite this adversity, Chinatown grew into a thriving cultural hub that has made significant contributions to Canadian cuisine, art, and culture. Number 5. In 1947, a group of refugees from war-torn Europe arrived in Canada aboard the ship Exodus, in what was intended to be a new beginning for them and their families. However, the Canadian government refused to let them disembark, citing concerns about public health and security. This event, known as the Exodus Affair, remains a striking example of how immigration policies were used to exclude and discriminate against certain groups of people. In conclusion, acknowledging and embracing these lesser-known stories and histories, Canadians can gain a richer understanding of the country's past and have a better appreciation for its future. As we continue to navigate the complexities of the present and look towards the future, it is important that we acknowledge and honor the contributions, struggles, and achievements of all of our people. Through this, we can build a more just, equitable, and inclusive society for all Canadians.